The Circle Arrange plugin will allow us to arrange our containers in a circle. And to set up an example to show you how this works, we'll use a 3D geometry. I'll grab a cube and put this into the scene tree. I'm going to grab a material here as well. We'll just go ahead and scale this down a little bit. It'll give us some room. Now I want to make some copies of this cube. It doesn't matter how you do it. You can control and drag. We're just going to use this other plugin called the Cocoa. I'm going to drag it onto our container. Before I execute the Cocoa, I just want to group all of our containers here. And within the Cocoa, I'm just going to say make 20 copies here. And we're just going to execute that. Now, when we open up our group, you can see that we have 20 cube containers here. So we want to arrange this in a circle, and we can do that using the Circle Arrange. I'm going to take that plugin and drag it right up onto our top group. When we do that, you notice nothing really happens. So we have to come into the Circle Arrange plugin. Now we know we have 20 containers, so I want to set our number of elements here to 20. And then we just need to choose how many number of rows we want. We'll just make 2 rows for now. And then I'm just going to come down to the bottom and say Rebuild Container List. And I click that, and you can see that it arranges all of our containers here within a circle. We have 2 rows and there's 20 cubes. So now what we have to do is come in and start adjusting our inner and outer radiuses here to see all the cubes. So once we do that, you can see that there's spacing between the cubes. If we want to scale this down a little bit, we can. And if we were to make number of rows, we could change that to 1 there. Now we could come into our inner radius again and spread this out. Obviously, taking this all the way down to 0 will make 1 cube, and then as you increase it, you can see that it increases the diameter of this. So depending on how many rows you have, you may need to adjust the inner or outer radius. With this, there's also a start angle, and it's set to -180 by default, so we could come in and adjust this too. And if you needed to keyframe this animation, you could set keyframes on the start angle and or end angle, so we can make it go the other way. Now, there's one last setting here. It's called the Orientate. So we click that on, you can see how it now orientates all of these cubes to face outward. So depending on what type of object you're using within here and how many rows and how many number of elements you have, you could get a lot of different shapes with the Circle Arrange.